Hey y'all, well as usual, I got a ton of information for you. I got hikers that are getting on trail, hikers that are getting ready to get on trail, hikers that got off trail that are getting back on trail. Tons of trail information going on out there, more than we can possibly do in this short time together, but let's go ahead and jump right in. So, got a hiker out there, Greystoke. He is back on trail at Bland, and so he is doing a flip-flop. He's heading south. He's concerned about the based upon what the ATC has put out there about areas being closed, areas not being able to get that he can't get through out there. And so he is making decisions based upon information that the ATC's put out. Now, they are towing the line as far as what the National Forest Service is telling people to do out there. Certainly, I'm not telling you to go through an area that the National Forest Service says is closed. However, everything with the exception of like 9 miles or less around the Iron Mountain Gap and Cherry Gap area, it's all hikeable. Subos have been through there. There are trail maintainers I have talked to. There are people out there that are shuttle drivers that are actually helping with the clearing, with the punching through, getting the trees out of the way off the trail, i.e. Unicoi shuttle, Lost and Found shuttle up in Erwin, Tennessee. So folks are getting through. And so, yeah, I get it. The National Forest Service says, and this is just Pisgah, says it's closed, but there are areas that you can get through up there. Not telling you to go through them, but you've got to make your own decisions about that. He's doing that, and that's going to possibly cause him some money in having to shuttle around that may not necessarily be necessary. But let's move on. So Fancy Pants, she is down on the Pinhoti. She's doing the Bama to Baxter, and she has made it past the 140-mile mark, and she says that's somewhere around the Piedmont mark. So I'm not exactly sure what Piedmont mark is. I'm not that familiar with Pinhoti Trail, but that's where she's at. Titanium, he's on trail. He is made it to Neal's Gap, and he decided to get off for a couple days while this cold vortex came through, and he'll be getting back on.
Hey Randino, this is Titanium. I'm at Neal Gap. I did the from Springer Mountain to here, and I started on the 22nd. Today's the 23rd. I hope you're feeling well. I know the pain you're going through. That's why my name's Titanium. There's not much to tell people. The trail is in good shape. It's just icy, and the temperature is dropping. And that's why I'm getting off trail right now. But I'm hoping that'll get better. This is Titanium, and I hope everybody out there stays safe.
Nutty Hiker, she is back on trail with a friend of hers, Ripley, and she is also doing the Bama to Baxter. And so they are heading on up the Pinhoti, and she sends in this update video.
Hey Ramdino, Nutty Hiker here. Just wanted to give you an update that I am about to head back out to the Pinhoti, making my way to Maine as part of my Bama to Baxter hike. And for anyone that wants to follow along that might be doing it as well, so you can see what the trail is like, water conditions and all that kind of stuff. Ramdino, hope you're doing okay. Hope you're healing well from that surgery. All right, talk to y'all later.
So Luscious, he is down in Georgia. He's been in Georgia a while. Not exactly sure why he's still down in Georgia, but he is hiking with Metro and Atypical Hiker. And Metro, I think, was hiker number 1 this year. So they've been on trail for 10 days to 2 weeks. So anyway, they are down in Georgia. However, they may have come out of Georgia, crossed over into North Carolina within the last day or so. And then Wolfie, he is back on trail. He is past the 100-mile mark. So congratulations to him. So those are the folks that have checked in with us. I know there's other folks out there that have already stepped off, even folks that are on our support list. So you folks out there, guys and gals and days, how about check in with us and send me your update with a 30-second video or selfie and let us know how you're doing and what conditions that you're seeing out there on the trail. Got a couple intro videos for you this week. So we got Grub Worm. He gets on trail soon, and he sends in his intro video.
Hey Ramdino, this is Grub Worm checking in with the Life's Vagabond channel. I am currently freezing my face off next to the Catawba River in Rock Hill, South Carolina. Yeah, I'm just doing a little day hike and getting my legs up to par. Next month I'm going to be taking off and doing a no-bow AT thru hike. Yeah, I'm far beyond stoked to get out there and do it. This has been 2 years in the planning process and I'm tired of planning. I'm ready to get out there and do it. But yeah, if you guys are interested, feel free to follow along. I'm going to be vlogging the whole thing. Yeah, hope to see you guys out there. Take care.
Catwoman, she is excited about getting on trail, and she sends in her intro video.
Hey y'all, Catwoman here, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm going to hike the Appalachian Trail starting Saturday, March 15th, heading north. I'm going to be hiking not only for myself, but to provide support and encouragement and inspiration to people who maybe are overcoming difficult things like abuse, domestic violence, all manner of darkness. Because if I can do this, anybody can. So I'm out here to cheer everyone on and have the time of my life. Remember, live, love, hike.
And then we got Jolly. He's looking forward as well. Jolly, go ahead and talk to us.
Hi, Rambino. Mike Scott, Central Massachusetts, at Mount Wachusett, otherwise known as Jolly on the Trail. I'm going to be doing my second attempt of the thru hike of the Appalachian Trail, starting on February 17th. Really looking forward to it, and I thank you for all that you've done for the trail community and for all the volunteers out there. It's amazing what they're accomplishing to clear the path for all of us thru hikers. It's remarkable. Again, I thank you very much, and I will be hiking for a cause. It's called the Why Me Foundation in Central Mass for children with cancer and their families. It's to help them out. And also my YouTube channel is at Mike's AT Hike 2025. Thanks, Rambino, and looking forward to giving the updates.
And we got Fog. He's also excited, and he sends in his video.
Hey Ramdino, it's Fog, the fat old guy from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, getting ready to let you know that I'm going to be doing a flip-flop thru hike of the Appalachian Trail heading northbound out of Harper's starting April 15th. Can't wait to see other people out there. Have a great day, Ramdino, and thanks for all you do to let us know what's going on with the trail. Cheers.
And then we got Norway. And so Norway is, of course, from Norway, and he is one of our first international hikers that I can recall. I think it's definitely the first one that sent in a video. So Norway, talk to us.
This is Tore Sundby from Norway. I'm still at home in my country, but 2 weeks from now I'll be on the trail. I have quit my job and I got my US visa, and all my gear is ready, my flight tickets is booked. Yeah, and I do have this YouTube channel that is Hiker Norway. So you look it up if you want to follow me on this adventure.
So hikers, we've got off of our support list that are getting on the trail this upcoming week. We got Meat Cookie, Old Spice, Canadian Bacon, Jameson Thompson, Wendy Wilson, Rachel Karcher. I believe I pronounced that right. And that's all we've got right now that's on our support list. So if you are not on our support list and you're a hiker out there and you have hiker or you have social media, or if you just want to update us, then please, by all means, go and put yourself on that support list. And the link to do that is down below, as is the link to that list for the hiker community out there to go and find hikers and go to their social media and support them with attaboys and attagirls all the way up the trail as you go throughout the course of your great adventure. We're looking forward to doing that. Now, we're going to talk about registrations, but before we do, let's pay some bills. Well, when you do stupid things, you get stupid prizes. And that means hardware in the body for the rest of your life. And the doctor tells you to go home, drink lots of liquids and electrolytes to keep that sucker healing good. Well, I'm going to reach for my Element Drink Mix. It's got 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. All the electrolytes you need to help you get on them in. And I'm going to reach when it's 14 degrees outside for my chocolate version, because that makes a really nice cup of hot joe or hot cocoa. I like the chocolate raspberry and the chocolate caramel, but they got all kinds of nice chocolate flavors. And right now you can go to drinkelement.com/Ramdino, and with any order you can get a free sample pack of a lot of their different flavors they got. So go to drinkLMNT.com/Ramdino, and they'll send you that free sample pack with any order. Go and get you some. So registrations, we have eked up a little bit, although in the last, I guess I've been doing this for 4 or 5 years. The last years, it's just not accelerating as fast as it was. We're going to talk about possible reasons why here in just a minute, but our total increase on Nobo from last week was 101. Flip-floppers, we had 5 additional flip-floppers register, and we had 8 additional Sobo registered for a total increase of 114 hikers over last week. So our registrations are down from the past few years that we've been tracking them. And I went back and looked at my archives. So in, of course, 2025, we're at 1,618 is where we're at. And that is for this time. Each one of these times I'm going to give you is for when I glean this information off the registration sites from the ATC for this particular time frame. So in the end of January of last year, we were at 1,903. This year, we're at 1,618. So that's around 300 less than we had in 2023. This time of year, we were at 2,254. 2022, we were at 2,707. 2021, we were at 2,366. And in 2020, we were at 1,818. So we've got a steady drop off, it looks like, since 2022. Now, 2021, in particular 2022, were the kind of comeback years from COVID when we had a lot of pent-up demand. But since 2022, we've dropped off a cliff, and we are now actually at a level that was below pre-COVID levels. So that is pretty significant. As of 2 o'clock this afternoon, we only had 23 hikers that had registered and stepped off at Amicalola Falls State Park. We were at 20 a week ago. So that means, according to them, only 3 additional hikers have stepped off all week. I find that, I know we've had a bad weather week, so that could be part of it. And we've had some pretty cold weather here at the beginning of Nobo hiker season, so maybe that is some of it, but typically people are going to be registering online as opposed to everybody registering when they get down there at Amicalola Falls State Park. But the cold weather could have held some folks back. It could be that just not as many people are hiking this year. That's an obvious step there. Could be that they have decided they're just not going to register their hike because of issues that they are having with the ATC. So not everybody registers their hike. Not everybody ever has registered their hike. It depends on, in years past, who you talk to at the ATC as to what percentage don't register. If you ask headquarters up in Harper's Ferry, I have been given 10% of people don't register. When I've asked the folks down in Asheville, North Carolina, they've told me 25% don't register. So I don't know why such the disparity in there, but I do know that the ATC keeps coming up with all these statements that impacts the trail, and it doesn't seem to have any rhyme or reason as to why they are coming up with a statement. So, of course, in 2020, everybody was urged to get out and hike because not only by the ATC, but by everybody, because you want to get outside and disperse in areas to, keep from being inside and locked up for COVID. But then all of a sudden, the ATC said, don't hike on the AT. So that was an issue that everybody had with the ATC. And then, this year they come up with, one thing was that the CEO said the trail's not going to be ready. It ain't going to be ready for possibly years. And we know that's not true now because they have punched through for all of but about 9 miles. So while it may not be in pristine condition, people can get through. People can hike. And so that wasn't true. And then they came out, right after the storm. They said, don't anybody hike on the trail, including in Georgia. The trail is shut down all the way from Damascus and all the way from even further than that in Virginia, all the way down to Springer. Well, there wasn't any damage down in Georgia. So why they shut that down, I don't know, but that affected people economically. I'm going to be coming out with a video shortly about how the economics of the trail have been affected by this. But you just got things like that. And then now this year, the ATC is recommending everybody do a flip-flop, which is going to kill the economics of the trail and the people that count on the no-bow season to come through when it does. And so that's harmed people, and just the fact that they're still saying areas are closed. And I know, again, they're towing the line. I get that. But the problem is the ATC is all about the treadway. They're not here for hikers. They're here for the treadway. And so make no mistake about it, treadway comes first. If you got some root balls that need to be filled in, well, they don't want anybody hiking that area till it gets filled in. So we'll talk about that more in an upcoming video. But so I think that has partially affected how many folks are out there registering for the trail. I know I have talked to supplier trail people that are hostels and shuttle drivers down in the southern section down in Georgia, and they've indicated that there are more hikers coming through than what has been registered down at Almacola Falls State Park. So some news we got on the trail out there at Iron Mountain Gap. That is the 9-mile section in there that is affected. So that's Iron Mountain Gap down to Cherry Mountain Gap through that area, almost Unicay. I think I pronounced that right. I'm terrible at pronouncing stuff, and yeah, I get called out on it all the time, and that's okay. But it's Unica Mountain. But anyway, those areas down there, that is the most affected in the area that has not been cleared, the area that has not been punched through down there. So right now, there is not an official workaround or reroute for that area. My understanding is that something may be in the works. I would certainly think they've had months now to get something in the works. So you would think by now they would have something that would be shovel ready or hiking ready, but they do not. But I've got something that's ready, but I'm going to hold on to that because they may come up with something that's completely different than what my suggestion is going to be. But if they don't come out with it before no-bow folks get to Iron Mountain Gap, I'll release mine and we can go from there on that. But hopefully they do have something that's coming out. The Tennessee Eastman Hiking Club out there, they are still out there trying to get on the trail. They are working in Iron Mountain Gap and Cherry Gap area now, and they are trying to get that area punched through so that that area can be cleared and can be hiked in there. There is an ATC is sending a Sawyer Crew along with the National Forest Service crews into that area coming up this week. That's going to help with those folks get in there and cut some of those trees out of the way. So I'm looking forward to that. It has come back now, and it looks like it's getting more and more solids that the National Forest Service is going to try to do a salvage operation in the Iron Mountain Gap area. So they are going to try to harvest or salvage some of those trees. As I've said before, typical timber operations are for vertical trees. The machinery set up for vertical trees, and all these trees are horizontal in there, or 80 to 90% of them are. And so that's going to be, it's doable, no doubt about that. But I think it's going to cause, with their heavy equipment, it's going to cause more damage to the trails in there, more damage to the environment. But the alternative is to let all that wood go to waste when it could be used for something. The National Forest Service was set up as a resource for the country, and so now that resource is all laying on the ground, it needs to be used and harvested rather than just rot. So they need to go ahead and get that. I'm all for that. that will effectively shut down that section in there. They're not going to allow folks to hike through there while they're in the middle of timber operations, and I would fully expect that. So hopefully whatever they're coming up with as far as a reroute will take that into consideration. Tennessee Eastman, they working about in this area there in the Cherry Mountain Gap and the Iron Mountain. They have seen a lot of bad areas, but this is the absolute worst area. It literally looks like a bomb went off in there, and 80 to 90% of the trees are all on the ground. These are big trees. It is utterly destroyed, as Joe Morris with Tennessee Eastman, he's their trail maintainer, in charge of that, and as he has indicated to me, and the snow right now is not helping. So they've got a lot of snow up there, and they are getting into sections where they're having to do a lot of walking, a lot of carrying in equipment. And, one of the problems is when there's snow on everything, it's hard enough when there's not snow to find the trail. But now with snow on everything, it's even harder. Of course, all the trees that had white blazes on them are all laying, or, the blazes are gone. They're laying down. You can't see them. They're covered up in snow. And so they're using the Far Out app to find their way around, and they're using like two phones, and somebody's walking in front of the other trying to follow. And that can be very accurate, but it's not 100% accurate. So they can get off, and once they start getting off, then they can start cutting the trees that are not where the trail is. And so that just makes it very difficult. And it makes it difficult, mainly because they're wasting the time there, and they didn't realize that they were doing that. So, hopefully once this snow gets, melts some, they will be able to, see some of the treadway and have a little more luck with that. So if you've watched this channel much, you know that the ATC watches this channel, and it never ceases to amaze me how often I will bring something up, and the next week they will put something out on their website addressing that. So at the beginning of last week, or end of last week, beginning of this week, I can't remember when it was, but anyway, some time ago, I asked some specific questions, and lo and behold, they have come out with the answer to those questions, some of those on their website. So one of the questions I had a lot of you asking me, what color is the bag tags, and what's the mileage for the trail this year? So I asked that of them, and typically we have a color, and they give you like, I don't know, 4 or 5 colors, and people decide, people vote on it, and they go with whatever most people vote for. So this year they didn't do that. So this year they didn't do that because they're coming up with something special for the 100th anniversary of the AT. So I don't know what that is. I hope it's not something that's, well, I'm not going to go there, but I hope it's not something that's politically correct. I hope it's something that we all can embrace. But along with that is they typically by now give us the official mileage for the year. And they really don't know the official mileage because they don't know what detours are going to have to be put in place. You would think by now they would kind of have that in mind, but apparently they do not. So right now they don't know what detours and what that's going to do to the mileage. So they're indicating that the official mileage is going to be what it was last year, which is 2,197.4 miles again. And of course the mileage changes throughout the year because of maintenance work and reroutes and things like that. But that is typically they have the official at the beginning of the year. I also asked what the ATC's reroute was going to be around Chestoa Bridge in Erwin. Of course, Chestoa Bridge was wiped out. A concrete reinforced bridge was completely destroyed by the Nolichucky River. And so they've indicated that they do have a workaround now, or a reroute for that. It is the official reroute for now until the Chestoa Bridge gets built. So it's the official White Blaze route. It is a road walk, approximately 3.6 mile road walk around that. And for me, and this is just my opinion, but for me, that is the most dangerous thing that they could have possibly done. And I say that because that road walk is on road that is a narrow road. I think it's a 2-lane road with no shoulder that is frequented by trucks, heavy trucks, that are working on fixing the railroad that's upstream of that. So you got road walk with no shoulder on a very busy, dangerous section there. The only road that's not that busy is on the other side of the river there coming up to Uncle Johnny's, but that's only like, I don't know, 3/4 of a mile, maybe a mile, something like that. The rest of it is major road there. So that is a very dangerous situation. I don't understand why they didn't work something out with Uncle Johnny's or a outfitter company just to go down to the Chestoa River and do a raft ferry across the river, maybe using cables, maybe just going upriver and rafting down the river. We have a ferry up in the Kennebuck River up north. I believe that's in Maine. And they pay, the ATC pays that ferry. So why could they not do that to get across the river? One, I think it'd be pretty neat, right? And two, it's no more dangerous than the Kennebuck River. Of course, during high water, that might be an issue. You might have to have shuttles around that then. But I think that would be, by and large, a whole lot safer than putting people on that road is to have a ferry, raft ferry going across there. But that's not what they did. They decided that the road was their best way of doing that. Then I want to say congratulations to some favorite hikers of mine. That's Fierce and Feather. So they are every year, Fierce has been on the end of days hike with us, and we keep in touch vis-a-vis Facebook. And since the first hike that we did, she met Feather. He was a trail angel, and she met him. I think she was getting a shuttle or maybe Trail Magic or something, but she met him, and the trail provides, and they began to create a relationship, and now they are engaged. So that is awesome. Congratulations to them. I think that is a great fit. Feather has, you see them hiking together all the time. So that is just really neat to see how the trail provides that. So congratulations to them. Looking forward to the wedding ceremony there. And then also we got Fresh Ground. He, with the Leapfrog Cafe, he is in the middle of a fundraiser. He'll be getting out on trail in the next couple weeks to start feeding hikers. But until then, he's raising money. We are short of the amount that he wanted to raise. He wanted to raise, I think, 20 or 24,000, and we have not hit that mark yet. So normally we go over that mark, but we know that, whatever is provided to us through hikers out there and whatever the Lord wants us to have there for however long he wants us to stay out there, that will be provided. So if you have the inclination to do that, I'd appreciate if you go to down below. I've got all the links down there to his Facebook page where you can give through anything from Venmo to PayPal to Zelle to snail mail if that's what you want to do. And then on a personal note, of course, I broke my wrist, and the last time you saw, I had a soft cast, and now I've got this removable brace. Things are going good. I've got pretty decent mobility in it. Still hurts a little bit. Can't do too much of this and anything, but it is on the mend. Appreciate all your prayers and good thoughts and everything that you've sent my way. Nobody's come up and give me a high five, and I don't want that right now because it would set me back a little bit. But thanks a lot for everything that everybody has sent my way. Greatly appreciate it. Folks, that's all I got this week. As always, appreciate you, and we'll see you out here.